everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited to make this video today. This is your girl. Can I be your best friend too? Because I know you already got a best friend. I just want to be your best friend too. Now, this video right here is going to be called The Shift. You heard what I said, The Shift. The shift of the year, the shift in your life where literally you be okay with letting people go and you are okay with growing and elevating and being authentically who you are despite of who you gotta let go. Now, if you are like me, I don't like change. I love kind of rolling with the punches of this thing called life. And I hate when monkey wrenches are thrown in. And the reason why is because I don't like change. You're gonna like change. Y'all say hi to me, Yeah, you're my baby. My boy is in heat and baby, he trying to get in between the sheets, if you get what I mean. So with that being said, in this Let's Talk About It video would be what to do, and bestie, what you've been going through that you feel like you need to talk about this. And so let's talk about the shift that you will probably start experiencing around this time of your life. And once again, my grandmother used to always say, do not ask God to remove people from your life if you're not serious. And I said a prayer. I accidentally said a prayer back in September. And I asked God to remove anything in my life that is not for me and do not serve me any purpose, that I can detach from it, and that He gives me the strength to move on from things and people that are not for me. And this is not just for people. These are things, bad habits, laziness, things that I know that are attached to me, that I know that I'm trying to shake from, As y'all already watched my video of like me find myself being lazy at times, and you can relate to this. When you're like myself, where I'm on a go, you just find yourself being super comfortable in that space. So like I said, for me, baby, when I tell you, times have been trying have been times, it has. And I have been finding myself losing people that I love. Yeah, you heard what I said. Recently, I feel like this year, in a very long time, I ain't really been in this era in a very long time, where I have honestly been losing people left and right. And it's literally people that I thought that would be with me, I'm not going to say forever, but for a long time. And if you have experienced this or is experienced this, you know exactly what I mean. Like I said, I asked God to remove people out of my life that is not good for me, and things that in my life that I know is no longer good for me. But baby, Jesus, you could have did this in like increments. No, when I tell you, when God started removing people and revealing people out of my life, it was as a whole. To the point like I started having like a little crush on somebody and whatever, mind your business because y'all nosy. And the vibe was good and the vibe was vibing, and then literally out the blue, just no longer vibing. To the point, one of the most closest people to me in the last 4.5 years of my life just no longer, just ain't there. To the point of even like my family and my job wise, disconnect. And literally is getting to the point where like I found like day by day people dropping like flies. And I found myself like you in my head, disappointed, questioning myself. Here go this anxiety again. making myself believe you're the problem, you're the problem, you're the problem. And I had a chance to talk to a good friend of mine, and she said, no, God is just removing layers, and God is shedding your the skin of your life that he has to shed, just like snakes. Snakes shed, the things that the skin that they no longer need. And she said, how are you ever supposed to be great and find this thing called you if you're holding on to everything? It's like we become hoarders in our own lives, in our own existing, and we don't even realize that we're doing it. And not saying that the people that left my life was bad, but they just couldn't go to the next tier of my life, because I believe that God has a bigger plan for me, as I believe that God has a bigger plan for you. That's the reason why he's been shifting things in your life. In my life, growing up, I'm going to be honest with you, I've never really had anybody from my mother, from my father, even my siblings, my friends, that really stood around, So being abandoned is very normal, very normal feeling for me. Feeling left out is a very normal feeling for me. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm an Aquarius. I'm so close to this thing called love and Valentine's Day that I'm gonna be honest, it's very true that a lot of Aquariuses, we wear our heart on our sleeve, baby. And we be a little mean, but the meanness come literally because we are trying to guard ourselves, but you can't hide who you authentically are. And so I find myself loving people more than I love myself, putting more in people that I put in myself, forgetting my worth in the process because I'm chasing the bigger picture instead of honestly allowing myself to detach from things that I know is no longer serving me purpose at the moment. And you can say, well, best friend, are you taking any fault in the detachments that have been happening in your life? And the answer is yes. And the reason why is because I allowed a lot of these things to go on too far. So let's talk about it. Have you ever had somebody in your life, a relationship, a friend, a parent, your kid, and they've done something over and over and over and over and over, and they made you feel less than, or they made you feel some type of way over and over and over and over, and nobody knew this but you? So when you find yourself finally acting on how you feel, you become across as being like the bad person, because the only thing people can see is you detached yourself from them. They're not seeing what people are doing. But I'm realizing in the shift era, me explaining that to anyone, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what you think you know, feel you know. It doesn't matter. I'm the only thing that matters. And you may be saying, best friend, are you trying to tell us what you think you're trying to tell us? Yes. When people want to go, let them go. When it's time for them to go, let them go. Don't hold on to anything that don't want to be held on to. Stop fighting in the ring by yourself. Stop investing in people that do not want to invest in you. Do not, and I'm going to say this again, do not beat yourself up when you tried. And the part that I don't understand in this thing called a shift is the same people that they say that say that they love you will be the same people that leave you. And I'm realizing this thing called love, that people literally will love you until they no longer love you. And you got to be okay with that. because it's this thing called life. In the shifting era, you also are going to find yourself leaving behind bad habits. You're going to find yourself being randomly frustrated, randomly in your head, because you know that the movements that you've been moving in is not right for you. You know that maybe you don't take enough time for yourself, and you find yourself maybe being sluggish and lazy, and you're like, maybe I should start working out again. Maybe I should start writing again. Maybe I should get back into myself. Maybe start writing poetry again. Maybe start painting again. Maybe start hanging out with the children again. Because you start, when you're in this thing called a toxic bubble, let's talk about it. You'll find yourself filling your bubble up every single day, year after year, with things that you know that no longer serves you. And just like most of us, we find ourselves not wanting to pop it because we do not want to release people. We don't release things that's inside of it. And more than anything, sometimes you don't want to release it because you do not want to come to reality that you have created this mess. You heard what I said. The thing that you're complaining about the most, you created it. You have to make sure that you give people permission to be honest with you, but you also cannot lose yourself in this thing called creating your bubble. Creating your bubble are boundaries. So while you're doing this shift in your life, you got to make sure that you create these boundaries. So as you are growing and you are elevating in your life and you're in a shift season, that you don't make the same mistake that you made before. Because we can say we don't want to be alone. We don't want to be alone. We don't want to be alone. But a lot of us, we're okay with being alone. So best friend, what do you think the shift means for me? I think the shift for me is scary. I'm not going to use the word new, but it's very different in this time of my life. Because everything that the shifting in my life recently have been is something I know that should have happened a long time ago. You ever knew you should have broke up with somebody 3 months ago, and then they break up with you, and you find yourself not even being sad about the breakup because you're like, this needed to happen. That's kind of like what I was. I have been, and I'm not gonna. And the funny thing about it is, I have honestly found myself mourning the loss of 2024. 2024 for me has been from POF dropping us, to me losing the most important person in my life recently, to my family falling apart, in my work family, to, even my family still not coming around and still being what it is and what it ain't. You know what I'm saying? From me literally figuring out this motherhood thing and trying to figure out this parenting thing. And all of this for me is all a shift. And bestie, you will get through it. And I'm going to get through it. But I got to go through the shift to go through it, right? And it's how am I ever going to understand what I'm going through? Or how you going to understand what you're going through if you don't get through it? To have that aha moment that says, I had to go through this in order to get through it, right? I'm kind of excited, to say the very least, about the shift. And the reason why is because I feel like the shift is much needed. The shift is going to really allow me to see who's there for me, who's not in my trying. But the God that I serve and the God that I know, he ain't going to never leave me by myself for too long. He's going to always surround good people around me. And even if the good people do not last, the good people sometimes are meant to be in your life for a season to teach you something about yourself. So make sure that you pay attention to those moments, so that way when you lose the person, the moment doesn't disappear. Catch it. Because everybody that come to your life is seasonal. And sometimes you get lucky and you can literally hold on to one or two really good people. And when you do find these people, hold on to them, learn to apologize, learn to communicate, and learn to know that you're going to have your moments and you're going to fight and you're going to do these things. And if it's worth it, you can always come back. And you may say, well, best friend, a lot of relationships that you lost, do you think that things are going to come back? Maybe. But I'm going to be honest with you. In 2025, I don't want to bring in anything that is not meant for me. And it's so crazy because you always hear people say, new year, new me, new year, new me. This is not a new year, new best friend. This is a new year, wake up, girl. New year, girl, stop being lazy. New year, you already know your plan. What you doing? New year, what you scared of? New year, best friend, get it together. That's what it is for me, just to be honest. And I've been trying new things in different avenues. And like I said, with the shift, I'm scared. I'm nervous. It's new, but we got this, best friend. Quick story time. Talk about one of my shifts. I was, when I first moved to Texas, I found myself, honestly, just being outside. And what I should have did was moved here, got the household together, then been outside. But I did the opposite. And being outside for me, it wasn't bad. Like, you guys seen the videos, you seen the pictures. Like, I've been outside, doing what I need to do for me. And I ain't gonna lie, it was a long time overdue because best friend never go outside. But I found myself latching on to new people, new friendships. And too fast. Way too fast. And not really understanding if the people were truly for me. Well, in this urge of me moving way too fast, I found that one of the closest people that I wound up getting close to, it wasn't going to work out due to, lack of communication when it came to feelings. And, maybe the age gap, I don't know. And it's so crazy because I truly still love the person. I still truly love the moments that we had. And could we ever get back there? Maybe not. But could we ever get on a eye-to-eye level? Maybe, But I had to learn that even though the moment was really, really good, I have to detach from it because the moment was just the moment. And I lost myself in the moment. And the moment made me not realize who I was. You ever been in a situation where you found yourself that you lost who you were? But the great part about that shift is me and her, we had that conversation. We had a understanding moment. We had a see you later moment, and I feel like it was very mature. And we had a chance to talk through our. But then it also was a situation where there was another chick out here that I met in Dallas. And I'm going to tell you, when I tell you, everything said run like hell, girl. This ain't your friend. And when I tell you, she would make little slick remarks in front of my face, makes little slick remarks behind my back. She would talk about her friends to me. And everything about that screamed, this is not what you want around you. You feel me? And so I find myself backing away from that friendship, thinking that I could probably still be friends with a person, but maybe not being around that person all the time. And even that came to bite me in the butt because I should have just released it when I realized it was no longer for me. We literally got to get to the point in our life when we know something is not for us early in the game. Either communicate about it or let it go. And I would say communicate about it first because sometimes the people don't even know that they even did nothing wrong unless you communicate. Hello? And then when it comes to the things in your life that you know that's not there, that good for you. If you know that you're trying to lose weight, let go of that ice cream. Or eat all the ice cream. Once the ice cream was gone out the refrigerator, don't buy no more. The shift is shifting, y'all. And when I tell you, you got to be ready for the shift, because the shift is going to knock you on your butt if you are not ready for this thing called shift. And I am excited for your shift. And I'm excited because I really feel like, best friends, you are ready. Even though you feel like you're not ready, I feel like you're ready. And I feel like you've done the work and you've gone through enough in your life to finally realize where you want to be in life and where you don't. And I finally got in a point in my life that where I want to be and where I don't. When in relationships, finances, motherhood, friendship, work, all of that. And once again, in this shifting moment, whatever God shift you in, be okay in it. But just remember, you cannot do anything if you do not have a positive mindset, walk with God, and be honest with yourself. With these 3 things, you can conquer the world. And the shift won't be so bad. Thank you for watching this video. And I'm super excited about your shift. And know, you are amazing.